I did have more fat than most other swimmers.
There was times when people used to make fun of my weight. Body shaming is BS. Body shaming is portraying insecurities onto someone else.
Putting somebody down based on their physical appearance, whether it be, facial aspects or, weight or lack of weight or height or something of that sort.
The two that college students hear about the most on our campus and in conversations that we have are fat shaming and skinny shaming. So that is shaming someone because they are perceived to be fat, or the opposite, that someone is perceived to be too thin.
I was really little. There was times when people used to make fun of my weight. People used to talk about how my hair was too nappy or my hair was too straight. I wasn't really curvy compared to other people's, and I was really thick. And a lot of times people used to make comments that I don't wear makeup, or I don't really dress nice, or that I need to just do a whole entire complete change.
But men are just as much targets of body shaming and struggling with issues of body image as young girls are.
Men, I think it's a little bit different. I know, personally being an athlete, and I know for a lot of athletes there's a lot of, pressure you could say. I think each sport is different, and there's a certain body type that fits each sport. So for me, being a swimmer, I definitely am not the stereotypical build for a swimmer, and so going to a swim meet and, standing around guys that are tall and long and thinner than, most people you'll meet, it's definitely different.
Oftentimes we focus on Barbie doll, right? That if we made Barbie doll full size, she would fall over, right? Because her proportions are, not accurate and not realistic. But the same pressure exists for young boys. The same thing's true for G.I. Joe. If we take G.I. Joe and we make him life size, his biceps are bigger than any pro athlete. And so there's a pressure there for boys as well.
I had kind of started gaining a little weight in middle school-ish. Not that, I gained a lot of weight, but, and then when I started swimming, it was kind of more noticeable. I definitely stand out in that aspect. And so I think that's where I kind of noticed it, because I kind of stood out in that way. I can remember just seeing videos of me going up on the block and standing on the block, and it just,
Well, it impacts lots of people because there are lots of avenues now for people to body shame each other because of social media and the internet. So we not only see body shaming happening in day-to-day interactions with people face-to-face, but we can also see it on the covers of magazines as we're standing in the checkout line at the grocery store, and we can certainly see it on social media as people make comments about each other or about their own bodies.
It didn't number my self-esteem. I really don't care what other people think about my body and what I look like. I have my own style. I try to, after going through a lowest point in my life, I decided to not care what other people think about my body and what my body is. I sort of reevaluated my life and saying, what do I like and how do I represent that in what I look like every day?
Well, I think one of the ways we can do it is really just loving on one another and celebrating each other's beauty and gifts and talents.
There was a low point in my life where I just was surrounded by nothing. And I decided, why do I want to impress people who did not care if I was depressed or not? And I realized the one person who I should be caring about is me.
Dialogue with ourselves all the time when we wake up in the morning, when we look in the mirror, and thinking about, how do we feel today, and trying to stop putting ourselves down when we talk to ourselves in our head, and thinking about how can you love on yourself, take care of yourself, take time to take care of yourself.
You are an amazing person. You are smart, you're pretty, you're a little bit stubborn, sometimes you're tender-headed, and there's times where people just won't understand you or the things that you do. You love yourself. You love who you are. You love the world. The world is too big for you to go away, and the world is too big, so why pay attention to little people? Be who you know you are. and just know that you're amazing and that you love yourself.